Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Liz and I post 2 DIYs each week. Today, I'm so excited to share with you these Dollar Tree DIYs. They are super fun and so perfect for summer. The first project you can probably do with items you already have at your home. So you just need to get 3 terracotta pots. You could always do 1, but I like to do things in groupings of 3. I just think it looks more complete, and groupings of 3 make me happy. Lately, I've been seeing so many different fun sponge painting techniques, and so I thought it'd be fun to do it on some pots. So all you need is a basic sponge that you have around your house or that you picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna be doing different sponge techniques for all of my pots. If you wanted to keep it uniform, just do them all the same. Maybe just pick your favorite and do that one on all of them. So the first one I'm gonna do is just take the sponge going, I would say like lengthwise, and you're gonna dip it in paint. I'm using Waverly white chalk paint. Make sure after you dip it, you kind of dab it so that you don't really get like a big glop on your pot. So I'm gonna take the sponge and I'm just going to press it on the pot, holding it straight down, picking it straight back up, and then I'll rotate the pot and keep going around. For the next pot, I'm going to cut my sponge in half. I'm going to be dipping it in the same Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm just going to do a fun herringbone pattern. For the third pot, I'm just going to alternate some vertical lines. There are so many different combinations you could do with this. Just have fun with this. I just think this is so fun to stamp on things. So I've kind of been doing it with a lot of projects lately. You could fill your pots with real pots. I'm gonna be using my favorite faux pots from IKEA. And here's a look at how the grouping turned out. Before we go on to the next DIY, I want to thank Empower for sponsoring today's video. If you've never heard of Empower, it's a mobile banking and personal finance app that really helps you with saving more money. Times have been crazy lately, and if you're off on your financial game and you need to get back on track, Empower app just makes it so much easier. Empower is super easy. You can download it right to your phone. Empower really helps me with saving, keeping my spending on track, knowing when my bills are due. So how I save whenever I'm using the Empower app is by a feature they have called Auto Save. With Auto Save, you set a weekly savings goal and the Empower app will automatically move it right into your savings. I love that Empower deposits are insured up to $250,000. My favorite feature that I've been using a ton on the Empower app is their spend tracker. Oh my goodness, you guys, you can set up different specific categories. For me, Amazon is my main category, and I can set up a spending limit. And when I'm going over it, I can see exactly where I'm at. So it helps to really keep you on track. So I love that I can personalize the different spend trackers and put in the amounts that work for me and my budget. Whenever I'm budgeting for videos, I have an Amazon budget specifically for DIY projects, so I can see how much I have to spend weekly and I won't go over it. And if I do, I try to reevaluate for the next week. They also have a notification section that holds you accountable when you have specific bills due or your subscriptions are due. It's just a really helpful app. They also take it a step farther where they have a human coach that's available for you to ask any financial question to that you may have. This is really helpful, and honestly, you can ask them any financial question and they'll try to help you. I want you guys to try out Empower and give it a try, see what you think. You can get $5 when you download Empower and reach your savings goals, and check all the terms down in the description box. So let me know in the comments if you've been into these macrame wall hangings. I think they're so fun to make, and you don't have to know crazy macrame techniques, just have fun with it. So I found this rod that I had out in the garage. If you don't have this, you can get a shovel from Dollar Tree. You can use like a toilet plunger, the wood piece on there. I'm trying to think what other wood items there are, but there's a lot of wood items that you can use at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use my favorite stain. It's actually a paint called Vintage Effects Wash in brown. I buy it on Amazon, and you guys must have really liked this paint because I haven't been able to buy it on Amazon. They have been out of stock. But I'm glad you guys were able to get it if you purchased it. But I may try out some other colors because the brown has been out. But if you guys know where else to get this stain, let me know because I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. But basically, I'm just going to paint it on and wipe it off. Now to hold it up, I'm just gonna use some basic twine that I had. I'll just connect it to one side, wrap it around, tie it on the other side. And then I'm just going to wrap the twine around the ends just to make it look decorative and tie that off. Now the yarn that I'm gonna be using, I did pick up on Amazon, and I believe it's still available, but I have a black and white one, and then I have a black and a white that I'm gonna be using for this project. Now, one of the things I've learned is you wanna make your pieces longer than what you think you're gonna use, because by the time you knot and tie things up, they get a lot shorter. I'm gonna be pulling off about 10 links per yarn pull. So I'm gonna start by just pulling my string off. Then I'm just gonna fold my yarn over, wrap it around, and pull it tight. I'm gonna be doing that by mixing the colors all across the wall hanging. Now to make this fun, I'm gonna be doing some different things. So I'm going to take pieces and tie them into knots. You can take the whole piece, tie it in knots. You can grab 3 pieces of yarn, tie it in knots, maybe 3 down. Next, I'm going to be braiding some pieces. So you can braid a whole piece or just a little bit. This is so fun to do. I don't know why I love this so much. Maybe because I feel it's like doing a hairstyle or something, and I love doing my girls' hair, but I just love doing this. Now I think with every macrame piece, you need to trim it at the bottom because you're kind of pulling things at different levels. So wait till you're completely done and then you want to trim it. So you can either trim it like completely across. What I like to do is usually kind of make like an arrow shape. So I'm just going to take my scissors and point them down and just kind of cut till I get to the center. And then I'll try to repeat that on the other side, making it look as even as possible. And here's a look at this adorable wall hanging. Next, I'm gonna make this really cute little farmhouse picture. So you're gonna need a 5x7 frame, or you could use 4x6, but I think by 7 works great for this. Next, I'm going to use a free printable. The way I get my free printables is I just go to Google, type in farmhouse printables, and usually you'll get a lot of free sites that have different printables. I just printed them off on my regular computer. So I'm gonna cut that out and put it into my frame. Next, I'm going to cut a piece of string and I'm going to be using some beads. I grabbed these off of Amazon as well, and I'm going to use like a larger needle. I think this was from Walmart, and I'm just going to string my beads onto my string. next I'm going to hold them at the top of my picture frame because I'm wanting to create like a little hanger, and I'm just going to hot glue them at the base. And then for a little bit of extra security, I like to add in this white duct tape that I have. And you could hang this anywhere on your wall. It's kind of small to hang alone, so I put mine in the middle of a wreath, and I think it looks adorable. All right, you guys, I told you I was into wall hangings. This next one I thought would be really cute in a nursery or like a little kid's room. So I had these Dollar Tree cutting boards, and I asked my husband if he could cut it into a half circle. So he used his jigsaw and cut it out so it was in a half circle. These are nice wood pieces, so they're great for cutting and doing for projects. Next, I'm just gonna use some white yarn that I got at Walmart, and I'm gonna be using my cutting mat, and I'll just wrap it around my cutting mat 10 times. Once I get to 10 times, I'm gonna cut off the bottom, take the top that's still secure, and I'm gonna hot glue it to the back side of my half circle. And again, I'm gonna use that same duct tape just to kind of really hold it in place. That way, if not all the pieces are glued down, it'll hold it. Then I'm gonna take 4 pieces of black yarn, tie it in a knot, and I'm going to wrap it around my white piece and cut off the back. So I'm gonna repeat those steps with my white yarn until I fill up the whole entire piece. With my black yarn, I want it to be kind of going down at a little arrow shape, so I'll just move my pieces until it looks that way. Once you get all that done, you're almost done. You want to cut off your excess. I think this will look really cute cut in an arrow shape. I just think this would be so sweet hanging up in a nursery or kids' room. All right, you guys, you'll have to let me know which of these 4 projects was your favorite. I'm not sure which one was my favorite, but let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. If you want to try out Empower, go check down in the description box. I'll have all the information for you there. And if you're new, make sure you're subscribed. I post 2 DIYs each week, and I'll link our last video right here for you. And I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye.